Hi, I'm Thelma, and my channel is Seasonal Crafts and Creations. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. If you're new or just have been here before and haven't had the time, I hope you take a moment during or after this video to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified and won't miss any of my future uploads. And you will be entered into the giveaway contest I have going on. I'll put more information down in the description box, and if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get the crafting. Okay, first we're going to do this bunny. I did a bunny last week like this, but it was a girl bunny, and I told y'all I would do a male bunny this week. So all you need is the bunny and some white glue, white glue, white paint, some black paint, and some pink paint, and a ribbon, hot glue gun, and hot glue. Just get you some out here and go ahead and paint. I'm using a pretty big paintbrush, so just put a good thick coat on. That way you don't have to put two and take twice as long. And go ahead and put a thick coat on too, because this paint really, this wood really absorbs this paint. So let's go ahead and just paint the whole thing. Okay, now that the paint has dried, I'm going to start by doing the face and then the ears and the feet. I'm just using a pink marker and a black Sharpie marker. You can use black paint and pink paint if you want. I'm starting off with the nose. I'm going to go ahead and fill it in as I go along. Kind of make it swerved going up the sides. Okay, now let's do the ears. I'm going to do them different than the female's ears. Okay, so just turn your marker around if it doesn't take, and then fill it in. Go nice straight strokes, that way it stays the same. And if you go out like I did, just fill it in and make it just a little bit wider. And then we'll do the same over there to balance them out and make them even. But if you don't like using markers, you can, like I said, if you're good at painting, you can paint or use markers. And it's easy just to balance it, even it up, I should say, not balance it out. Just continue in a straight motion going all the way across. That way it's even. And around the edge, just be extra careful and slow. It's easy to fix if you mess up. Just do like I did. And keep the motion going in the same direction. Now just double check it and make sure. See how this one goes out farther? Just make sure it does the same over here. Alright, now let's do the feet. And 3 little circles for the toes. It really doesn't take that long at all to do these. Let me know if you're going to be painting yours with paint, or if you find doing it with markers just as good. Okay, now for the eyes and the mouth. Just try to get them as even as you can. Now you can always, after you use a marker to fill it in like I am, go over it with paint. And that way you know you have everything colored in. Now do your whiskers, 3 on each side. Alright, and here is the male bunny so far. Now all we need to do is get some ribbon and make a bow. Figure out how big you want it. So all you do is just bring it over, measure it, and now cut it. Let me get something to tie it off with. Okay, I'm just going to use some jute rope, but you can use anything that you have on hand. Just cut off quite a bit. And make sure your glue gun's heating up. get this even. Go ahead and move the bunny. Now I'm tying it in the back before I go twisting it around, just to get it nice and even on each side. As you can see, that's even. Okay, now just twist it. And then double knot it, and then we'll work on straightening the bow out. Okay, make sure the back is facing where you tied off the jute rope. And double check to see if it's even. Okay, so this one's a little shorter, so what you do, you just pull it, the jute rope, just a little bit towards the other side. And that's it. So go ahead and cut these ends off. Now if you have any of these finger protectors, I'd go ahead and get them on. Okay, straighten this out. Now just put it right on the back where you tied your knot. That way not only does it secure the bow to the rabbit, but it also stops the jute rope from coming loose. Just push down. And there he is. He has his little head tilted because you'll be looking at the female. Let me get it and I'll show you how they look together. Okay, this is the one I made Friday, but I think I posted it it came out Saturday. And this is the one that I just made today. There's the cute little female, and there's the male. And as you can see, he's looking over at her. So let me know what you think in the comments of these here. Okay, now after you have the roof of the birdhouse glued on, you need some, if you want to do the colors I'm doing, or you can do whatever colors you want. I mixed some white and some spring green from Apple Barrel, and got it from Walmart. I did it until, I mixed it up until it came to this shade. And this is what I'm going to paint the bottom of the birdhouse with. Just small strokes. Keep the little stump right here that's for him to sit on, perch on, the wood color, because I'm thinking of doing a wax color on it, or I might paint it burnt umber. But if you get paint on it, it's okay. But just go around and paint it all, and leave this here bottom. Don't paint it the green either. Okay, this is what it looks like with the colors that I mixed together and painted. Now I'm doing the roof, and it is from Apple Barrel, and it's called Caribbean. And I'm not mixing any other colors with it. It's that color right there. Just paint the whole roof. Do the edging too here. Make sure you get around each little curve where each popsicle went. Go like that. And that'll get it right up in there. Show you this whole one side here. And do the front. Just get just a little bit more. You want it to, you don't want to see the inside of each piece of wood for it to be the color of the wood. Let it go in and do a second coat if you have to. And that's all you do, is you just paint it and go in the grooves. Now I'm taking some burnt umber from Apple Barrel. It came from Walmart. And I'm going to paint the little stems here and the bottom of the bird cage. And I'm using a real small brush. Make sure you dab it on the side of the paint here to get most of it off. And take your time. Don't be in a hurry, just take your time and slowly go around. And that's what that stem looks like. And we're doing the bottom one. This might be a bit tricky getting in between here, but just take your time. Okay, now we're going to paint the bottom here. Just nice small strokes. Go real close to the edge, but try not to get the side of the birdhouse. Now let's do the front. Go real slow through here because of that perch hope being right there in the center. There you go. Once you get over that, or under that I should say, the rest is easy. Now do the sides. And then the last side here. And this birdhouse is finished. That's what it looked like. Let's set it aside here. And then I have another one here that I want to go ahead and paint and just paint it blue and pink or something like that, but I'm not going to put no roof on it like I did. So give me 1 second and I'll get the paint colors together. Okay, I already painted the little stems here that the birdies sit on. I don't know what they're called. And the bottom of the birdhouse in burnt umber. And I have cloudless for blue. That's going to be the roof. And pale daffodil yellow. That's going to be the birdhouse itself. But now for these perches for the birdhouse to sit on, I am using a toilet paper row thing and one cut in half, and just cut it and then slowly keep cutting around it until you have it flat. And I'm painting it coffee bean, and it is a outdoor indoor gloss from Apple Barrel, and all the paint come from Walmart. And all you do is just put you a pretty thick coat on, because this absorbs the paint real fast. But let's just do both of these. Okay, while these are drying, we're going to go ahead and paint the birdhouse. I'm painting mine pale daffodil, I think it is. Yes, pale daffodil. And it's from Walmart too. I think I said all the paints was from Walmart earlier. But you might want to put 2 coats of this on since it's so light. Put it all on 1 coat, and that way it'll dry in one dry. So just paint all 4 sides. Okay, for the top of the bird house, I'm using Apple Barrel Cloudless. Excuse me there for a minute. I thought I was going to have to cough, but I didn't. But anyway, I'm painting the top of the house this cloudless blue. And it's a real light, kind of like a pastel color. And I think it complements the the yellow real good. I could either went either way, pink or yellow, and you can't go wrong if you match your colors up real good. Like put a light color on the bottom of the house itself and then a darker color on the top. And what I do, I put 2 coats on the first time. That way it only has to dry 1 time. And this wood does absorb the paint in, so you have to be real quick about it. Go ahead and do the little edges. I'll go ahead and paint this whole thing for y'all. And paint the trim blue. I already did that side. Now we just have to do this one and the back. And then as soon as this dries, we'll be able to put everything together, and you'll see where I'm going with all this. Alright. Okay, for our next project, you will be needing one of these little trays. It's just called wood tray. And some white paint, and I'm using a large paintbrush. You don't have to put a lot of paint. Just put a thick coat, that way you don't have to paint it twice and let it dry twice. And it helps to put a thick coat because this wood really absorbs the paint. So make sure you do the inside and the outside all the way around. Okay, now that the little tray has dried, I took some white paint and some spring green and mixed it. And what you need to do is, this is the color it looks like now, is either if you wanted a darker green or a lighter, you add either more green or more white. And I'm adding more white because I want it to be a little bit lighter. And just mix it up. Now if you want it darker, you can buy a darker shade like Christmas green or shamrock or any of these, crisp green, or you can just mix other colors to get to the color you want. Now what I'm wanting to do is distress this a little. So I'm taking some tissue paper and just wiping the brush off where I used it to mix it up. Now just get you just a little and dab it off. And what we're wanting to do is just give it a distressed look. Real light. And do that going all the way around. Just wipe it off. Make sure you keep going straight lines, even around this little handle. And we're going to do the whole thing, even inside it. And then when it dries a little, we'll add a little more white. Just keep going straight. You might think you need some paint on your paintbrush, but you don't. Just keep going over, painting over what you already painted, and that'll distress it. Okay, now we're going to do the inside. Let me get this up off this before it dries. Now for the inside, I'm going to do the sides first. And do the same thing, going all the way around. Now, after you have it all around the sides, go ahead and do the edging here, the trim. Okay, now we'll do the bottom. Just nice straight lines. Go all the way to the end and the corners. The more you go over it and brush it outward, the more distressed it'll get. And just add just a tiny bit if you need it. Okay, now we already did the top here. Now do the handles here. Alright, now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry, and we'll be working on the rest of this project. Okay, you will need 2 of these birdhouses and some of these crafting sticks. Now I already measured it out. This side's going to take 12 and this side's going to take 12. Unless you use the extra, which we'll see about doing. But just make one a little bit longer than the other. And put it right flush at the end. Make sure you have it even. Alright, and then take your scissors and just cut each one where I made the little mark with my scissors, the groove. Okay, I'll have to redo this one, but that shows you how easy it is to not get the mark all the way in. Now just make sure they're all flush. This will be the hardest part of the DIY, but it's going to look so nice. Okay, now there. Now you take this one, then you take the next size up to that side, and then all we're doing now is measuring, making sure we have them even. And as you can tell, we do. So now, let's see, we need 9 more on this side. And we're going to use these to measure them. And that's all you have to do is just remeasure them, and then the small one be right here. Just make sure you have it even. Alright, now let's glue the first so I can show you how to do it. There we go. Okay, now the long one goes first. Make sure it's even with the end of the birdhouse. And then the next size goes up next. You don't really need a lot of glue. And then the small one goes on last. And that's how they should look. Okay, this is how one side looks. And I made an extra so I'd have the right sizes for over here. And all we'll do is cut them and stack them like that. But first I'm going to show you again how to cut them. Just once you get your first one, like I showed you at the beginning, then just cut your popsicle sticks or crafter sticks and cut them down. And you don't need much, you just need 12 on this side, which is 4 of each sizes. And I'll show you one more time. And then this one's almost the right size, but just off by a tad bit. then the small one. And that's all you do. And then I'll show you how to glue them on in a second. Okay, on this one, since the crafter sticks come up, just put this one flush with the top and it'll make your perfect point birdhouse. So just get you some glue on it, just the same way as we did with the other side. Make sure it's straight. And flush with the birdhouse. Okay, now do the medium size. And then the small. And that's how you do it until you get to the end here. Okay, next we're going to take this little tray and first set the toilet paper rings. I don't know what to call them other than that. These are going to be the little logs that the tree houses are going to be sitting on. And if there's any uneven, just trim it off. Like that. Now, you're going to have to glue these down. Put a good amount of glue going around the whole thing. And do the same thing to this one. Okay, now do the top. And put as much as you can because it's going to drip going around the sides of it. Push down on it. I'll do the same thing to the small one here. Now, get you some moss. Put it down and around. I did forget to do one thing, but I will fix it right now. Scoop this side clean. Get you a small piece of the foam that you do your flowers with, and cut about 1.5 inches off. It's going to go right here. Do the flat end on the bottom. Alright, now put you some of the moth mesh, I should say. Call it moth. It's not Spanish moss, it's decorative. I think it's the deer mesh. Cover up the foam. Now let's go ahead and have a little bird here. You can get them in all different colors at the Dollar Tree. Turn this around just a little so I can see. Put you some glue. Now, some of the glue I put there to put some of the mesh in it. That way it'll stick to it. And push this down the bird. Might have seen my kitty there run past. He got by me without me seeing him until the end. Okay, and once we push the strays in, this is what the project looks like. Okay, our next project, you'll be needing one of these globes, and I got this from the Dollar Tree. The LED fairy lights came from the Dollar Tree, and this I picked up at a thrift store. I think it was Goodwill, but you can use anything from the Dollar Tree or any store. You can use Easter or spring. Okay. First, what you do, I always make sure my lights work. Put it all the way in past the last little light. Just make sure the last little light is under there. And just push it down in there. This is my front here. Go on, kitty. That's one of the babies. They gotta be anywhere that I am doing crafts. And there's what it looks like. And like I said, you can use flowers, any greenery, any knick-knack that you want. And then the next one is this little, I don't know what it's called, but it came from the Dollar Tree. It's a globe ornament. It has a flat bottom, a hoe here, and a hoe here. And make sure your glue gun's on. And that you have your glue handy. Now just put your glue all over. This is one of those shoes that comes from the fairy garden. I'll show it to you. It comes with the fairy garden village set. And I already put some mesh in here. And then I have some little people. I have this little gnome, this little fairy, the boy gnome, a mushroom, and a welcome sign. Now I don't know if all of them have fit in here, but I put the shoe back in the bag. And first let's try the boy and the girl gnome. And make sure they're facing outward so you can see them. And goes all the way down into onto the globe here. Now do the little boy, or whichever one you're doing. Put your little mesh back in there that falls out. Now I'm going to leave the fairy out for now, and I'm going to put the mushroom in over on this side. Just push down. Make sure the glue gets onto the bottom again, like I said before. Okay, and here's what it looks like. And we're not going to use the other pieces, it's not big enough. Alright, I want to thank y'all for stopping by and checking out my channel. If you liked today's video, give it a big thumbs up. That really helps my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, or if you have, you're entered into the giveaway contest I have. If you watch my videos and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell next to it so you won't miss any future uploads, and leave a comment letting me know you subscribe to my channel. That way I can jot your name down, put it in the drawing box, and when I reach my go, then I'll do a drawing. Okay, I'll leave everything in the description for you to, if you have any questions. Alright, have a great day.